Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 1388 and Doubleshot number 1282. Two DC trades from two writers, well, who are not really doing very much anymore. Nope. This is, of course, the first one of his best books. This is JSA by Geoff Johns, Book 2. This collects issues 16 to 25 of JSA, the original series, along with JSA, World War #1, JSA / Secret Files, #1, and JLA / JSA, Virtue and Vice. This book also contains a short story from a one-shot. Yep, a one-shot. A one-shot called Secret Origins of Supervillains, 80-page giant. Now, why is there a story for this one here? Well, there's a reason why. It's a debut of this guy, Johnny Sorrow. Yep, where he breaks out the second icicle from prison, mostly to help set up a story arc in the pages of JSA. Yeah, it's JSA versus the new Injustice League, while also dealing with later on a story where he has the return of Hawkman, the Carter Hall Hawkman, one from the Golden Age, which is great. The whole point of that was to set up a backdoor pilot to the actual ongoing series of Hawkman, which basically had its finale of the writer himself, Geoff Johns, wrote the book for the first 25 issues and having the last story arc be a crossover with JSA, which even though his run on JSA didn't end afterwards, but yeah, this of course is just really good. There's all stuff here with the president himself, and also the fact that the original headquarters they had at the start of the series, it's destroyed by the Injustice League. And after saving the president from all people frickin' Despero, yes, an old jail Justice League villain, which, here's a strange thing, he shows up here, and this is one of the rare times that Martian Manhunter is nowhere to be seen. Because I don't know if anybody's ever told Geoff Johns about this, like, it's just by sheer coincidence that every time Despero shows up here in any comic book, he always has Martian Manhunter always fight him. One of the rare times he doesn't. Yep. Oh, by the way, as a thank you for saving the president's life, like, what can I do for you? You saved my life. What can I do for you? Of course, the president is Lex Luthor. Yep, for some reason DC decided to have it where in the early 2000s, where Lex Luthor was president of the United States. So, what was their present? Have a new headquarters for the JSA. Okay, a skyscraper. Not a brownstone, a frickin' skyscraper. This became the second headquarters of the Justice League. And of course, later on, well, you have Hawkman here. Yes. Aside from Geoff Johns, per se, it's an overall really... He also has David S. Goyer, basically, as a co-writer of this book with these people as the artists. Michael Barr, Steven Sawatsky, Carlos Pacino, Jesus Moreno, Phil Walside, Mike Perkins, great guy, met a good person, Steve Yawall, Keith Champagne, Buzz, met this guy, great guy being a person. I actually got him to sign one of my JSA trades, but I don't remember if I have it anymore. Rags Morales, I met this guy in person too. Great person to meet. Dave Meekins, Paul Nuri, Rob Lee, Herbert Soares, Roy Knisick, and Andrew Dupoy. The cover art is by Alan Davis and Mark Farmer. Yep. This book is always great to read, and it's an overall really good series. I give this book a 10 out of 10. It's an excellent book. Alright, moving on to a different book. Oh, by the way, we also have it where Black Adam joins. Oh, here's the Injustice League. Johnny Sorrow. This is Tigress. Her father was frickin' Sportsmaster. Yes, I know that this character was loosely inspired to be, what was her name? I think it was Arrow Girl. I think it was Arrowlet from Young Justice. Her and another character. The second Icicle. His father was the original one. Let's see. Yeah, Black Adam, who later joined the JSA after the storyline because during his Johnny Sorrow. We had Count Vertigo here. Yes, Count Vertigo. And I don't remember who these are. I think that one's the Killer Wasp, which it was rumored this guy was the son of Wildcat, but I don't think it was. And that was it. Just really good stuff here. Yeah. All right, next up is a classic book from this writer, Alan Moore. Yep, this is the start of his Swamp Thing run. Fun fact about this particular run, it is, if you look at any person who has ever written Swamp Thing over the years, nobody has ever surpassed the amount of time that Alan Moore was on the book. He came to the book with issue 20 and didn't leave to issue 65 of the second volume of Swamp Thing. Yes, a 4-year run. Yes, on this book for 46 issues. No writer who has ever written this character since this man left has ever topped this man's run. Excuse me. Not even the creator Lean Ween has ever topped this. Yeah, he wrote the original 13 issues of the book back in the 70s, and of course came back to the book in 2015. But overall, he only put out 18 issues out of this almost 300 issue series. Yes, the series just came back as recently as a 10-issue limited series, which I'm really hoping the 10th issue is renumbered to be 300. Yep. Now this, of course, is the start of Alan Moore's legendary run on Swamp Thing. Here's the interesting thing when it comes to Alan Moore and this book. This was the first book Alan Moore ever did for DC. Yeah, he did this before he did Watchmen, V Vendetta, The Killing Joke, From Hell, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah, long before he did those awesome books, he did this book. And basically had it where it was kind of in a way a reboot of Swamp Thing. And it's what I think a lot of writers took a lot of inspiration from for their take on Swamp Thing from Alan Moore. Not from the creators, but from Alan Moore himself. Yep, and also we get used to Abigail Arcane, who becomes an integral character in this particular. She, of course, is a primary supporting character in Alan Moore's entire run. Though this is not exactly the start of the romance. Matt Cable, who's her ex-husband at this point, he doesn't really appear in here. We also have where the Philonic Man. I believe Alan Moore was the one who made the Philonic Man, aka the Cedar, a regular recurring villain for Swamp Thing. I think he was the one who did that. I'm not really sure. You also have Swamp Thing interacting with the Justice League. Now, this is, of course, pre-Flashpoint Justice League. Yes, because it just came out in 1984. Crisis on Earth didn't come out until 1985. Yep. But for the start of this run, it's really good. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's basically great stuff here. Yep. Actually, it wasn't 84. It was actually 83. I think that was when the first issue came out, right? Yeah, the first issue came out in... Yeah, it was January 1984. That was when the first issue came out. The last issue was 87. Now, he basically had Rick Vaughn as one of the artists this particular run. Yes, I met the guy. They're going to be first. I've never met Alan Moore. The other artists here are Stephen Bassetti, John Torben, and Dan Day. Let's see. The cover was mostly done by Tom Yates. Yeah, he's the one who did the cover art for this particular run. Now, I did hear something initially that this issue right here, the official start of Alan Moore's run, yeah, for some reason in the original trade paperback collection of this run, they skipped this issue for some reason. Because all this issue was wrap up all loose ends that the original writer, Martin Parton, I believe was this guy's name, when he left the book, Alan Moore had to tap all this guy's loose ends for he had to do his own work on Swamp Thing. Yep. But for the start of this run, it's good. Really, really good. Gotta love this artwork here. It's so good. Like, this is typical 80s, like, pre-Vertigo stuff. Yeah, this book was actually published under the Mature Audiences imprint. Well, that was the precursor to Vertigo. Yep. But I'm definitely looking forward to reading more of Alan. Oh, yeah, and also, we have some guest appearance by Etrigan the Demon, which is so awesome. I'm trying to find the actual issue itself. Yeah, he pops up for a couple issues, but yeah, Etrigan the Demon is always a really cool character to read about. Yeah, an interesting little fun fact comes to Etrigan the Demon. He's a creation of Jack the King Kirby. And look, here is basically his encounter with Justice League of America. And that's Cater Hall, the Earth One Hawkman. We have Superman, Firestorm, Wonder Woman, Hal Jordan, Green Arrow. You're probably thinking, who is this lady right here? That's actually Zatanna. No joke, that's Zatanna. That's what she looked like back in the 80s. But yeah, great run. Well, great start for this book. I get this book also a 10 out of 10 because it's pure classic stuff when it comes to DC Comics. Yep. So yeah, that's it for Sick of You. My next comic corner will be review of next 2 trades for Matt Fraction's Iron Man run. Okay? And next video is going to be, overall, I would say, newest episode of How Not the Semi Demon. Okay? Continue the video. Bye.